on when are we on Thursday at the Welcome Cocktail. It's just absolutely amazing. I mean, just standing here, this crazy view where we are, all these amazing lights, all these amazing people. It's so cool to see you from all over the world, whether it's friends and family, all these people that we love, and in such an amazing place as this in Goa. It's the perfect sort of place for an Indo-Western kind of fusion. This is really what Goa's all about. Getting away from the beaches and the Russians and all that kind of stuff, and coming to the real places like this. So it's awesome to have you all here. The great thing about having 3-day weddings is that you have a lot of time to talk to people and meet a lot of new people. So to all my mates who come from school and from university and from work, from all walks of life, really take some time to meet some of Nat's friends who've all congregated here, it seems, actually. I've known a lot of them for quite a long time now. Nat's friends are so close to her, and I've known that since the beginning. So actually the first time we met at the birthday party which she crashed with, it was my 25th and Rahul's 30th. It was his 30th.
Don't mention my age.
So she was there. All her friends were there that night. When we went on our first date, the traditional sense of a date is a boy and a girl go and meet in a place. So the boy turned up in that case, and then 10 of her friends and her came. And then we just went and had a mad night out, and they stayed there all night, so it was kind of not really a normal date, but they've always been there too. The first holiday we had, where I see Rashi sitting in the front, where I'd moved to New York and I wanted to come back to India, because New York was kind of boring compared to the amount of fun I was having when I was living in Bombay. And I tried to organise a holiday with Nat, who I just left and was feeling very sad not seeing anymore. And this one then turns up on the holiday, and with the famous quotes from Nat. Don't think this means I'm going to be your girlfriend. So 6 years later, here we are, and all these guys have been part of the journey. It's been awesome. I love coming and seeing you, all of you, and it's just great. And I really hope all my friends who come will see the same thing. Nat's family is, if I was here in a wedding in England, we'd probably talking about how much we hate our in-laws, and it's just, but it's just, it's totally different. We've been so close. Nat's mum, Nat's other mum, Nat's sister / cousin. It's, we've been so, and Nat's brother, I can see him looking at me. And Nat's grandmother, Bobby, who's here. Hello, she's there somewhere. Hi. So, they've all been part of the journey. It's been so much fun. I love hanging out with you guys. As most of you have probably realised now, they're all fairly mad. And you'll also see that now. But it's so cool to hang out with you guys. So, Nat's family's awesome. Thank you. Thanks to my family too. My parents who are here, my strange family also, which is with from all over the place. Thanks to my mum, who has raised me in a very good way. She's very disciplined, but she's lovely. And she's, I think after 6 years, getting used to being called Auntie Danielle, but I'm sure it seems a bit weird to her right now. Hi! See, their guest of honour is here. Hi! Come here, sit there. So, and of course my father, who would have thought, I'm sure he always knew that, he'd meet, that I would meet a Gujarati girl in India. I'm sure he knew it was just set. I had no plan of doing this. Actually, when I moved to India, she remembers when she met me, I had massive braces, because I thought, I don't like Indian girls, so I'll just get braces and look horrible. See what happened now. So thanks so much to them, and of course the reason why we're all here is my amazing, beautiful wife, Natasha, who's an absolute star. A lot of you have met her already, or know her very well, or have talked to her over the last few days and met her for the first time. She puts a smile on anyone's face who meets her. She's the most impactful person you'll ever meet. She has changed the lives of many, many people, including myself. So, under all the nonsense and and just that, she's an extremely, so many people, whether it's her professional or her personal life, she's really made an impact on so many people. Whether it's opening up her house to one of her colleagues at work who's pregnant and a single mum she's opened up her house to these people, or acting as a mentor for underprivileged children. She's really done a lot of things, either through her work or personally. So I really admire all those qualities, and she's, I hope, had a good impact on me, and will continue to do so. So I think I'll stop now. So I'd like to raise a glass to Natasha, to all of you guys. It's obviously already empty, hers. So anyway, cheers. Cheers.
Don't worry, it's double-spaced. So, good evening, everybody. Bonsoir, tout le monde. I have a few words I'd like to say. I'm Alex, Phil's younger brother, Natasha's brother-in-law. It's always great to go to a wedding. It's even more special when it's your only sibling. And it's freaking awesome when you need to fly halfway across the world to go to the beach in the winter for it. As I said, Phil's my only brother, and we lead very different lives. It's no surprise that Phil gets married abroad, although abroad is hard to define for Phil. And I suppose if it wasn't for Phil's love of travel, or his immunity for the Delhi belly, we wouldn't all be here today. Now, those itchy feet are no doubt something that he's inherited from our mum and dad. Despite being different individuals, we've always been pretty close. Of course, like all siblings, we bickered and had a go at each other from time to time. And of course, I maintain it was always him that started it. But I've always looked up to Phil. Phil may have called this copying him, but I think it should have been viewed more as a compliment. That may have involved listening to bloody awful thrash metal, supporting England over India in the cricket, or very briefly flirting with the idea of being a Dalston hipster. It never quite led to me dyeing my hair pink, but thanks Phil for that. Dad's reaction was priceless. So why did I look up to Phil? I think it's easy to say that you naturally look up to your older brother, but I don't think that's necessarily true. Phil's longest time friends here have probably known him from when he was about 11 onwards, so it falls on his family to fill you on the times before then. He was always very bold and adventurous. He was into his mountain biking when he was younger. He'd happily go off in the forest for a ride, much to the heartache of mum and dad. A couple of years later, he'd go to those metal gigs in Brixton. You get stuck into mosh pits. Now, despite that compelling evidence, mum and dad always thought he was the responsible type. When Phil was about 16, they'd start letting him stay at home on his own when they were abroad, and I'd stay with friends. Phil was given strict instructions by mum to water the hanging baskets, which he diligently did on the first morning while still wearing his pyjamas. The one thing he did forget, however, was the key, which caused a bit of a problem when the door blew shut on day 1 of 4. He's always been popular, unless you're his younger brother, very easy to get on with. In some ways he's quite quiet, not keen to be the centre of attention, but always preferring to surround himself with his friends, like a slightly introverted extrovert. He's always looked out for me as well, and was very much the leader. We used to play a lot of cricket in the garden in Walton, and when the parents popped out, we'd use the leather cricket ball to make it a little bit more exciting. Mum and Dad were out, so we were playing hardball. I bowled, Phil whacked it. It soared 3 meters over my head and smashed through the lounge window. Phil's first reaction, obviously, was, "Why didn't you catch it?" It was rapidly followed by, "Oh God, what are we going to do?" To his credit though, Phil took charge of the situation and said, "Don't worry, I'll think of something." Mum and Dad return, they find smashed glass in the lounge and a cricket ball shaped hole in the window. Phil's got it covered though. We went upstairs, and when we came back down, we just found the lounge like this. Come on, at least take the stumps out of the ground. I don't want to turn this into an analytical profile of Phil's character. What Phil has buckets of is what is called in the medical field executive function. This is essentially your ability to achieve goals, or in other terms, to get your shiz together. He's very reliable, he's got things down to a T, seemingly, without having planned things meticulously. That's why he has a life, and now a wife, that a lot of people would admire. Just don't ask him to dance, it's a different part of the brain that controls that. Lastly, to Nat. I think it's clear to everyone here who know both of you how well you complement Phil. One of the main reasons it's been so much fun seeing Phil over the last few years is because you've been there with him. When I moved to London 3 years ago, one of the resolutions that you asked him to make was that we would see each other more, so I owe you a massive thank you for that. Congratulations, félicitations to you both, Nat and Phil.
So guys, I'm not using paper, I'm using my iPad. I wrote it just a couple of days ago. So thank you very much everybody for being here today to celebrate the love between two awesome people who can only be described as soulmates.
Louder.
For those who don't know me, Natasha is my younger sister and one of my best friends. I feel truly blessed to have Natasha in my life. She's an extremely generous soul, a role model and a fighter. An inspiration to not only me, but many in the family, and those she touches with her energetic personality. So what can I say about a woman who has it all? I can reminisce about the good old days when she didn't. Let's rewind back to when Nat was about 6 years old. Nat was the cutest baby sister and was always prancing around. As much as she loved to prance, she would often become victim to her own two left feet, and when she did, she would slowly pick herself up, find a mirror, and to the mirror she would cry, "Bichari!" In English that means, "Oh, poor thing." While growing up, Nat had to live in ghetto-like conditions, with a terrorizing and bullying brother like myself. In fact, I once locked both of us in a room and forced her to learn the lyrics of Ghetto Superstar. And it's safe to say we made a great rendition of that. By the way, Nat wasn't always the cool and hip and great dancer that she is right now. I think she picked up some of her best moves when she was a child. I once caught her imitating my air guitar to Bon Jovi's Bed of Roses. As Nat grew older, she started getting attention from a lot of boys, which was much to my dismay. So I encouraged her to maintain her ever-flourishing upper lip moustache. Unfortunately, that didn't last very long. Fast forward to 2010, the first time I met Phil. Or as I like to call him, Philander. Natasha was all set to introduce the big brother to the new boyfriend. That day he was on his best behavior and they only held hands when they thought I wasn't looking. Phil, over the last 5 years, we've gotten to know each other, and I have no doubt you're the right man and the rock for my sister. With all my heart, I look forward to your marriage blossoming and my chance to become an uncle, and your tolerance to my entire family who will come to live with you whichever part of the world you may be. And one last thing, if you ever hurt my sister, I will hunt you down and kick your ass!
Okay, that's it. No more speeches. The band is going to play. If anyone would like to return my shoes, you know, I wouldn't mind them at some point. But, damn it! Damn you! This wasn't part of my look, if that's what you're asking. So anyway, without further ado, Okay.
Good evening, everyone. We'd like to dedicate this first number to the couple of the day, Phil and Natasha. Yeah? We'd like you to take to the floor and dance your first number to as man and wife. Yeah? And folks, yeah, we'd like you to join them a little later. Yeah? Just a minute, dear, just a moment.